Hey there, Seth Sundberg with 7 Foot Solutions. Happy to have you here. Today we're going to talk about napkin math. Napkin math is something that everybody always asks me about. I see a lot of people, whether they're new to apartment investing or acquisitions, and or people that have, years and years of experience, have a whole underwriting team and go deep into, each project initially. This is a great way to underwrite any real size project in really less than 5 minutes. So I'm excited to share this with you and talk about the benefits of doing this. There's some basic assumptions that I want to talk with you about in this napkin math. Some of those assumptions you can see here are we're going to use a 50% expense ratio on a property. We're gonna start with a 6 cap. Now that may change depending on your area. Also, the expense ratio may change, and then we're gonna make an assumption about the average per door rent for the property. Okay, and we're also going to assume that it is fully 100% rented for the gross schedule rents, the GSR. Once those assumptions are there, we know they're there. Those are easy levers to change. We're going to take an example, of today of a 467 unit building that's 80% occupied. Okay, and then we're going to use $825 for the average rent per door. So before we get started, I want to tell you exactly what the formula is. It's the annual GSR divided by 2 divided by the cap rate equals the max offer or value price. Okay, some people like to say max offer. I like to say value because the way we look at things at 7 Foot Solutions is where's the value? How are we either going to be able to acquire value, create value? Is there any value initially? Just kind of where the deal is, and that's what we're always seeking for is where is the value for us and for our investors. So we're going to take this 467 unit building, and again, 80% occupied, $825 per door average rents. Now, if we take that 825 times 467, that's assuming that it's 100% occupied. We get $4,623,300. We're going to divide that by 2, which leaves us with $2,311,000, $2,311,650. And what that is a 50% expense ratio. Okay, so dividing it by 2 is just 50%. If you said you want to do a 60%, expense ratio, you would just multiply it by times 0.4, and that would be 40%, and you get your what you're trying to find there is your NOI, right? So that's a quick way to do that. When we take the 2.3 million and some change and we divide that by 0.06, which is assuming a 6 cap for this property, we get a $38 million, $38.5 million value price. Okay, now 6 cap might be low for this particular asset. I think it is, right? So if we did the same thing at a 7 cap, maybe it's a 7 cap area, right? Then you get the 2.3 million divided by 0.07, which is that 7% cap, and you get 33 million, right? Which is $71,000 a door versus the $82,500 a door earlier. So the cap rate makes a difference. Now we have an idea, right? We have our barometer, right? We have our bearings a bit. We're in the world, we're in the game, and it took, what it take 2 minutes to do that, right? We knew a few things. We check on a couple things. We make some real assumptions, okay, that need to be verified, validated, and that's all part of the deep underwriting that gets done as part of the next step. But we train all our people to use napkin math first to find out if there's even something worth talking about. Typically, what I say is when you get your assumptions kind of dialed in a bit, and you're within 20% plus or minus of either the broker or wholesaler or owner's ask price, then it's worth digging into a deal. If you're farther than that off, it's probably not. And you can always submit a low LOI, but usually there's some gap there that's sometimes insurmountable. So for this example, that's napkin math. That's where it is. That's the short version of it, and hopefully that helps. It's annual gross schedule rent divided by 2, divided by the cap rate equals your value price. Okay. What I want to do now is step into this specific deal at 80% occupied, and how does that change it? Now we know that we're at about a 7 cap on this deal. We're at $33 million, for an offer price. But this deal, like I mentioned, is 80% occupied, right? So that means 373 units of the 467 units are occupied at the 825 per door. So that's $307,000 a month times 12 gives us 3.7 almost $1 million. All right, so we're going to divide that by two. Now we get 1.846 million as an NOI. At a 6 cap, again, that's $30,772,500, which is $66,000 a door. If we did that at a 7 cap, now it's $26,376,000, which is $57,000 a door. Okay, so you can see now we're getting into the tightening of the napkin math. And again, I haven't done any deep underwriting on this yet. We haven't done the T12s. We haven't spent the half hour, or 2 hours, or however long it takes you to get into that deep underwriting, which is a critical step you need to do. You'll never do a deal without knowing how to underwrite. I always tell everybody, but this is hopefully a quick and easy way to get your bearings right. Just see where you're at in the world on this deal. A lot of times it's hard to just get a first step structure, and hopefully this napkin math is your ticket to being able to do that quickly. I hope you get a lot of value out of this, and if there's any questions, leave a comment down below. Thanks.